Right, now, I want to talk about the Porsche 911. OK, now, this is designed to be as fast as the laws of physics allow, and that's great. But it's rather a serious car. You know what I mean? It doesn't have much in the way of a sense of humour, and it's the same story with the Ferrari 430. You really don't want to sit next to someone at dinner who's got one in case he starts telling you about his five-way traction control. There is, however, one supercar maker that's a little bit different. Lamborghinis are for people who want to move about in a big pantomime, a massive West End musical full of colour and noise. And to hell with how fast you can go round a corner. Unfortunately, the Gallardo, the baby Lambo, never really cut the mustard. As you'd expect, it isn't quite as nice to drive as a Ferrari 430. The steering isn't quite as delicate, there's less immediacy from the engine, and there's not quite as much poise. Sure, it has a flappy paddle gearbox and they just up the power a bit, but it still isn't a proper driver's car. Now, that would be fine if it was flamboyant and mad, but it isn't. Feels sort of like a big Audi TT. Now, though, they've launched a £131,000 convertible version, and I'm delighted to say the lunacy's back. There are faults. The steering wheel, for instance, is covered in a bath mat, and if you push the seat all the way back, as I have to, it squeaks against the firewall. Can you hear that? It does that the whole time you're driving along. And you can never find the seat belt. Well, I don't care! Sure, you're going to get people coming up to you saying, oh, you could have gone round that corner .003 of a second faster if you'd had a Ferrari. Oh, you know, that's 100 kilograms heavier than the coupe, don't you? And it doesn't matter. Because I've got 93 million miles of headroom and I've got orange seats, and listen to this! The sound of a 5-litre V10 engine. It's the noise of 512 rampaging Italian horsepowers. It's like listening to the Cirque du Soleil being chopped up by their own chainsaws. One of the things I love most about this car, though, is that they've painted it grey and fitted active exhausts that are supposed to be quiet at low speeds. But they're not fooling anyone. You can try to drive it quietly if you want to, but it's impossible, because if you accidentally stray over 3,500 RPM, you just get this sort of bark, like that. You hear that? Quiet. Bark. Ah! Driving through my local town the other day, and I nearly gave some poor old woman on the pavement a heart attack. Oh, sorry, love, sorry. There are two ways of removing a dodgy tooth, you know. There's the Ferrari way, which is an exquisite high-speed drill. Then there's the Lambo way, which is a big hammer. Yes! This is being alive now. Who cares about 5-way traction control? I don't want that. I want more of this. I'm in love. It isn't all clown shoes and spinning bow ties, though. I mean, it has four-wheel drive, so there's lots of grip. It'll go from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. And flat out, it'll be doing 195. That is pretty serious. Better still, it has a proper gearbox. The flappy paddle nonsense is a £5,000 optional extra.
What's more, Lambo is owned these days by Audi, so you even get some German common sense. The nose, for instance, can be raised up when you get to a speed bump. And there's more.
Inside, a lot of the equipment, the sat-nav, the aircon, the dials and so on, all come from an A8, so they sort of work. I remember the air conditioning in Lambos of old used to be an asthmatic sitting in the dashboard, blowing at you through a straw. That didn't work.
But my absolute favourite thing about this car is the way it looks. Hood down or hood up. It is desperately pretty. And it's tiny. It's the same length as a Ford Focus, which means it's easy to park and easy to drive in town.
What we have here then is not, by any means, the best driver's car in the world. But you could use it every day if you wanted to, and it has the most important characteristic that I look for in a car. It's a laugh.
You drive a Ferrari with a rather serious expression on your face. You drive one of these gurning like you may technically be an idiot. I think it's absolutely tremendous.